Okay, Melissa, you're going to come in front of me?
I forget, do I put my arm here right now or later?
Later. Yeah, they're just going to be relaxed at your side. That spreader bar is going to go over the top of them. So let's take a, step that way. Turn the Vario on. Okay, just take a step back. There you go. Good. And your arms just relax there. That's okay. Perfect. Okay, I think I'm going to let that solo glider go first. Then we have somebody marking because everybody's up high, which is a good sign right now.
Yeah.
But I want to prevent us from doing what we did last time. Let's take just a half a step to the right here. Good. I'm just getting us on the center of the glider. I'm in good shape here. Go mark it for me, Ben. No, go. You got your brake wrapped on the left. Still big sink. Come on. Wow, look at that. As soon as we see him get some up, we're going to go here. Should be around the corner there, but he's going to come back this way. I think we can do it. You ready? Here we go. You're going towards the lake. Ready? 3, 2, 1, lean and run. Go, go, go. Good. And run, 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 run. Nice. Beautiful job again. Thank you. Like it already.
Yeah.
And he's got a nice one right there, so we're just going to go get in that same thermal and then up we go. That's what we're talking about. Redemption is ours. They say you can't keep a good man down. There you go. So again, looking at the horizon, especially when we're turning. So that's downtown Seattle now. Yeah. We never got to see that last time. You know, that might be them back there. See the red and white coming at us? It could be them. I don't know if that's a tandem or solo, but...
Is there a way to estimate your elevation?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly. We're launching at 1,750 above mean sea level. And we are already at 2,600, so we've gained almost 900 feet already. Even with those towers up there, we'll be at 3,050 feet.
Huh. find the funnel? Is that what you do?
Right, exactly. Yep. So we just find that little column of warm air, and it's rotating, being bent over by the wind. We kind of came out the side of it here, so we'll reacquire it here.
Why did you start paragliding?
Just because as a kid, I just dreamed of flying, you know, and I had to realize the dream. So when this sport came along, I just said I got to do it. It's a cheap, inexpensive way to fly, and it's you know, it's the most real flying you can do. No motor,
Yeah.
you know, and you just fly like the birds. This spring we had a whole bunch of bald eagles and red-tailed hawks out here. So we were often, you know, climbing like this and had like a, you know, bald eagle, you know, like 20 feet away from us.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. So you see the two swimming pools down below us there? Straight down below your feet there? Go. Now they're going to be off your left-hand side. See them down there?
Yeah.
That's a nudist camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's like I think everybody says it's about an average age of like, you know, 60 plus. So.
I feel like it's kind of cold up here to be.
Yeah,
nude all the
no
time.
kidding. Yeah, that red and white glider's not Mark and Seth. Mark had called me, and so I just left him a message. So they're down there. He probably was saying they went to get the car, and I'm sure he snickered. Amazing view, huh?
Amazing, yeah. It's like being in a plane but outside.
Yeah, right. So that's the Cascade Mountains behind us, and that's where all of our ski areas are, right up there in those craggy peaks. Where does Seth live?
He lives in Seattle.
Yeah, what part?
He lives like near Capitol Hill.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is funny. This is sort of our first date.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So, would you meet online or what?
No, through friends. My friend from college.
Uh-huh.
She ended up meeting like another one of my friends. They ended up getting married,
Wow.
and so he works with Seth,
Okay.
and so they they actually live in Raleigh now. But my friend's husband, he was living out here working for Microsoft, and that's who Seth works for
Okay.
as well. So they were like, well, let's all take a trip out to Seattle. And oh, by the way, we have this friend we want you to meet.
Oh, nice. So this is your first time out as a couple, huh?
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's cool. Awesome. Well, you're gonna, you know, if the relationship works out, you're gonna have a great story to tell, and if it doesn't, you'll have a great story to
Right.
tell. So when we land, though, I want you to tell Seth, today I'm your man, because I got you up high, okay? Tomorrow he could be back to him, but today I just...
So how high are we now?
Now we are at 3,500. So we're 350 feet above the towers there. Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So I'll give you the lay of the land here.
Okay.
So we're flying at Tiger Mountain. The next mountain over is Squawk Mountain. And then the third one over is Cougar Mountain. The big green area up on top, the grassy area, that's a golf course. It's the most expensive golf course in the state of Washington.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about $350 to play around on the weekend. I'm trying to get my stirrup here. That's why I'm picking around
Is
here.
it too windy up
What's
there?
that?
Is it windy up there?
Up windy up where?
We're at the golf course.
Not so much, you know. No, you know, it's windier up here where we are right now. But anyway, so this is Lake Sammamish out in front of us, town of Issaquah, and then we have downtown Bellevue. You can kind of follow the highway out and see the tall buildings out there. That's the city of Bellevue.
Yeah.
And then we have Seattle, and so this is Lake Sammamish. The next water you see is Lake Washington, and we can see both ends of Mercer Island. You can see the tip up here and the tip out there.
Yeah.
So that's Mercer Island, and then on the other side of Seattle is Puget Sound. and then that's the south end of it. Down by the tunnel, down that. Pretty amazing view, huh? You don't get these views. So what happens if you and Seth hit it off? Who's going to move?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a long ways off.
Yeah. I mean, I have another like year and a half where I am.
Yeah.
And then I have the opportunity to move and take a job somewhere else.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah. Have you done long distance relationship before?
I have not this long.
Yeah. Right. Right. I have a friend. Last 3 years I've gone to Israel and flown in the winter time.
Oh, really?
And it's beautiful there. And I met a Jewish girl there, and she came here to see me last year and the year before, and you know, every year I go there, and you know, but it's hard, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's our country.
Huh?
But
Yeah.
One of my best friends, she did that. We went to college medical school together, but her now husband is from Germany.
Uh-huh.
So they met. He was doing like a part of his PhD out in Georgia,
Right.
and that's why he came to the U.S. But he was already a lawyer out in Germany. So after they met, then kept having to find reasons to stay, like get his green card over and over.
Right.
But yeah, they were together for about. I mean, they've been together for I don't know,
Wow.
nine years or so.
Right. Right. She's a fair bit younger than me, so you know, don't know that it will work anyway. But it's neat to have a friend there, and you know, we you know Skype all the time and
Yeah.
stuff. And anyway.
Are you Jewish?
What's that?
Are you Jewish too?
No, I'm not. Well, you know, the Jewish lineage follows your mother's side,
Right.
and like my great grandfather, all his family was, but so not really. But I guess there's a little bit of Jewish blood, but not the way they look at it.
Right.
So if I wanted to move to Israel ever, you know, I would have to go through all kinds of hoops and jumps.
Right. Yeah, I'm not Jewish, but I live in an Orthodox Jewish community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh cool.
So it's nice and safe.
Yeah. I think if I went there, it'd be cool to spend some time like on a kibbutz, you know, or something.
Yeah.
I think it would be really neat. I visited a couple when I was there last year, and it just seems like a really neat kind of community concept and stuff. And you know, if you had kids, it'd be a great place to school your kids.
Right. Medical school in Israel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had my only ever injury paragliding crash was 2 years ago there. I was flying a new site I'd never flown, and I was flying a kind of a really dangerous paraglider, which I probably shouldn't have done, you know, at a brand new site. And I crashed, and so I went into their best hospital. I was airlifted off of a mountain in a helicopter.
Oh, wow.
I probably shouldn't be telling you this now, but it ain't going to happen flying tandem. But anyway, we always say don't do two firsts at once, you know, and I did. And that's usually when you get hurt doing this. And anyway, so I ended up at Rambam. Rambam, it's in Haifa, Israel, and there was all kinds of, you know, doctors every morning when they made the rounds, you know, with all the interns and stuff. There was just a ton of them from, you know, some were from America.
Yeah.
They had people from Hungary, a lot of neat folks there at the hospital. You know, and the amazing thing was, is I was in their ICU for 3 days, and then in the hospital for a total of 7 days. I broke my scapula, my clavicle, and I had 12 fractures to 8 ribs.
Oh my God.
And so the first thing they did, which was amazing, because here they would have put me on a morphine drip, you know, but they gave me an epidural.
Oh, cool.
So I had Zippo pain. So I laid, you know, in a 45-degree angle in a bed with Zippo pain, but every time I breathed, I could hear this popping and clicking, you know, as my ribs were moving.
Oh.
So I just sat there and I shifted in bed for like 3 days, and everything manipulated itself back into place. And but you know, I had a couple different MRIs. Every day I had lung X-rays. My lung collapsed, so they had to put a drain tube in. And you know what my total bill was for that?
What?
Less than $14,000.
Oh.
Yeah, here that would have been, you know,
Yeah.
100,000 or more,
Right.
probably. Yeah, pretty amazing.
So what happened in your accident?
I was flying low to the ground, which is another no-no on a new glider. You know, it was the end of the day, and I had flown another site earlier in the day, and then the conditions changed. And so I met some local pilots, and they said, well, a lot of people are up at this site, and they, you know, gave me driving directions to go there. And I drove up there, and when I got there, I ended up at the landing field first, not the launch. And I met this guy who had just landed, and I said, well, I came up, and he goes, well, it's kind of, you know, conditions are kind of changing. You know, we were up 1,000 feet, you know, over launch a while ago, and he goes, now everybody's, you know, kind of coming out and landing. He said, you know, but my car's up on top. He says, let's go up, and if it's still flyable, you know, you can fly, and I'll come down and get you and take you back up to your car. And I went, well, that's kind of an offer I can't refuse.
Yeah.
So I went up there, conditions were changing. So anyway, I was flying really close to the terrain. It was super bouldery kind of ground below me. And I went to make a turn on the glider, and it did what we call a negative spin. And I was too low to recover the glider. And so I just smashed into this boulder.
Oh.
I actually hit on the padding of the harness and bounced and went, man, you lucky dog, you know. And then I kind of got jerked backwards, and I hit like a basketball-sized, you know, boulder, kind of smashed me in my scapula. And anyway, that's what crunched everything. But I've flown 20 years. That's my only injury ever.
Huh.
So you're like right below the white room. We call this the white room. See the cloud above us?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So it's technically illegal for us to go in, and so I won't take you in. But anytime I fly solo and I can go in, I go in.
You go to the cloud?
Yeah. Yeah.